But I have to say, Jim Packard, our lead forecaster, he did say yesterday, we might ought to rethink this, low chance rain thing and look at that a little more seriously. But anyways, welcome and good morning. I'm Rick Shanklin, the morning coordination meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Paducah. And we are gathered here this morning for the very special occasion to recognize and celebrate Massac County and the city of Metropolis as storm ready. At this time, I'd like to take a few minutes to explain what storm ready is all about and provide some insight of what has to be accomplished to achieve storm ready designation, which, by the way, is part of a key overall effort of becoming a weather ready nation, an effort to ensure we are prepared as a nation as a whole. Storm Ready is a national program that began in the spring of 2000. It helps by providing a plan to communities on how to arm themselves with communication and safety tools and plans to save lives, reduce property damage, and reduce the number and severity of injuries. And this is especially important to us here in this part of the world, which is no stranger to hazardous weather, such as the 2009 ice storm and the May 2003 violent tornado that hit here in the county. So what are the requirements to become storm ready? First, communication is a key part of the storm ready criteria. There must be a specific level of communication ability to receive and send out severe weather warnings. For example, this would include the STARCOM radio system, the state of Illinois EMNet system, reverse 911, sirens, and monitoring the local river gauge, which I'm sure was not a problem back in 2011 and prior years. And certainly this would include weather radio at all the schools, which we had good visits at the Metropolis Elementary School and the Joppa High School this summer. In addition, Barry Stevenson gave us a good visit out at Honeywell. Appreciate that. Other storm ready requirements include having a severe weather action plan and community preparedness, such as the weather radio program here in the county, the school tornado drill, and the spotter training hosted out at Shawnee Community College last February. So how does a community or county achieve storm ready recognition? First, they contact our office, typically myself, the morning coordination meteorologist, and we work with them to meet the criteria. There may be questions about exactly what has to be done, and we work through that process. Then they make application, and then we get that to all of the Storm Ready Advisory Board for Southern Illinois, which consists of National Weather Service and emergency management representatives. If the application appears to meet the criteria, we then make an on-site visit, which we did that in the last couple of months. We call it the verification visit. The board then meets and decides whether or not to grant recognition to the applicant, which we of course did, and that's why we're here today. There is no question that becoming storm ready is a major part of a community's preparedness. However, I'd be amiss really if I stopped there. While the issue of preparedness is addressed by Storm Ready, preparedness ultimately comes down to the individual level. It is up to each and every one of us to be storm ready, which means responding correctly to severe weather. And lastly, what are the benefits of becoming a storm ready community? It's a nice image incentive, as you see here with the signs. It provides points toward the Insurance Services Organization Community Rating System points, which the whole process can help reduce insurance premiums. And most importantly, of course, is reducing the loss of lives. With all that said, it's my pleasure now to introduce Mr. Chris Pulley, the acting coordinator for IEMA Region 11 here in Southern Illinois. Chris?
I'm happy to be here because anytime we see an outreach like this goes on for the whole community, which is what we did here, this is actually hitting the whole community. It's very beneficial for everybody within the community. Unfortunately, the tornado in 2003 got everybody on board, and with all the interviews we did through the walkthrough, that was the main thing that everybody brought they're watching the weather more and more and have the weather radios and doing what they need to do to keep the community at large up to speed on what was going on in the community. Again, as Rick said, this is a first step. It's a very good step of getting the warning out there for the general population to understand what's going on at any given time. As we saw today on the way down here, I did have to check that to see what the weather was going to be. Of course, it rains when we get here, like the last time. So, but nothing like what we can have here in Southern Illinois. So, our agency, Illinois Emergency Management, is very happy to be involved in every part of this and getting more and more communities storm ready. Because again, that means that there are more and more communities that are prepared to deal with the type of disasters that do happen on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis within the state of Illinois. It makes our job easier, and it makes everybody's job easier when everybody is prepared and knows what's going on in a timely manner when a storm does happen, or when, such as the ice storm does happen, where we have multiple days without power, and people are up to date on what's going on and how to handle and where to go and do that kind of stuff during the onset of that incident. Other than that, I congratulate both Keith and Joe on this. It's not it is kind of hard undertaking to take upon themselves to get going and get started and make sure, but they had very good people to work with at the community level, at the schools. Again, they're very knowledgeable. The people at the municipal buildings that we visited, again, very knowledgeable, had the weather radios there, listened to it. They not only listened to that, they had the radio, they also had TVs going, and they had computers which they monitored stuff as it came up. I also want to thank Honeywell, which is very important of getting the outdoor sirens, some of the outdoor sirens within the county and the community, which again is another set of eyes and ears to alert the community at large of what's going on in the county. Other than that, turn it over to
Alan Innes.
Alan Innes, Massac County Emergency Manager and Vice President of IASMA.
Thanks, Chris. Just basically, Illinois Emergency Services Management Association is association of emergency managers throughout the state of Illinois, both county and municipal emergency managers and people that work in the emergency management field. We have a lot of police and firemen and EMT, those types of folks that are members of our association as well. We, as an association, are very proud of our members that step forward and adopt the Storm Ready program. Storm Ready is a great program, and as Rick and Chris have already talked about, no need to repeat those things, but I do want to point out, our members, Keith and Joe, without their leadership of getting these programs moving and gathering all the information and making the application, these designations wouldn't be possible. And their continued good work is what it's all about. Yes, it is a community effort, but they're the point man of getting our preparedness level up in our community here in Massac County and Metropolis, and we really should give them a round of applause for doing a great job.
Well, I am Beth Poole, the meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service in Paducah. And I told Keith when I got here, I've been in the Weather Service 36 years now. And I've spoke next to Rick more times than I can count. But today, I really wanted to speak next to Superman. And it rained, so I was disappointed. But we are inside and we are celebrating just as well as we would have outside, because now it gives me such great pleasure to announce that today, September the 10th, 2013, Massac County and also the city of Metropolis are being publicly recognized by the Southern Illinois Storm Ready Advisory Board, as they've officially met all the national requirements for certification. And this is like they said earlier, this is quite an accomplishment. It takes work to do this. It takes plans that are in place that you've exercised for years on end to make sure they work, not just an exercise of paper. This accreditation today will be valid today into 3 years, and then can be extended at 3-year intervals pending the continued board reviews. So I want to stress, this is not a goal that with our partners we have reached now, and then we're going to walk away from it as we walk out those doors. No, it's something that we will require continuing commitment to keep it ongoing and work as partners for the community. So it's at this time with great honor and privilege on behalf of the board that I present to the following people. And if you would come up here, we have some plaques from you. The Massac County Chairman, Jason Farmer, if you would come up. Massac County Director, Joe Miller. And for the City of Metropolis, Mayor Billy Daniel, and also Keith Davis, the 911 and City ESTA. We are going to send home with you as well. And what these signs do, a lot of counties and cities will put it into the entrance of their county or their city, and it's just a good signature to say we are indeed storm ready in this area, and it is a nationally recognized sign. So we'll encourage you to put those in places that people will see a lot of them. Okay? All right, so what I'd like to do now is step aside and ask Mr. Farmer if he would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Ms. Poole. First, we would like to say thank you to the National Weather Service of Paducah for having this program and getting certification. I know Joe Miller and his staff and some of his volunteers, Brian Horn and Charles Taylor, has worked hard to get this program. And anytime we can work to make the citizens of the county safer, that's our goal. And we also appreciate Honeywell providing the sirens. They've always been there and worked well with the county anytime they could to provide services to the residents and safety, and we do appreciate that as well. So thank you very much, and we're going to cherish this thing.
Okay, thank you. And Joe, if you'd like to say a few words?
Again, I'd like to thank the people that have already been involved. But this is just an outgrowth of our Storm Spotter program that celebrates its 9th anniversary this month. Again, I'd like to thank Charlie Taylor, Brian Horn, and Dale Windhorse that had already started on this program when I took the job. Those plus about 20 other volunteers take their time, even late at night and early in the morning, to help us keep safe with our Storm Spotter program. We can never be storm proof, but we can be storm ready. The better prepared we are, the more likely we are to survive and recover after a severe event. And hopefully the steps we took to become storm ready has made people and government officials and business people think, and hopefully we'll take steps to prepare in their homes, offices, and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Mayor McMahon?
Well, and just echoing what the other gentlemen have said, you know, we've been through a lot. We're in the city of Metropolis of Massac County in the last several years. Takes a lot of time, a lot of hours, and a lot of commitment to do what has been achieved here today. It takes a joint operation between the city and the county. I want to thank the county commissioners and Joe for their support in what we've done in the city. Keith's been a big part of ours. Most of the credit actually goes to Keith and that staff. I'm just on standby ready. But I can tell you, between Joe and Keith, there's probably not a given minute, nor hour, day, month, or year, that they're not up many hours during the day and the night. And the state of Illinois is a great part of what we do here. As we know, the bigger the emergency, the more people have to get involved in it. Without our state representative and the kind help and understanding when we do have an emergency, that's the first step in the ladder that gets us to the top when we get our help. Without state representative, we can't do it. We couldn't have done this today without the help and the many hours that Barry Stevenson and Sean and Larry Smith have done through Allied and Honeywell up through the years. It's been a joint program and things like that through the many hours of the tabletops. We could not have achieved this without many, many hours. And I do want to thank each and every one from the City of Metropolis, Massac County for their cooperation and the state help. You never realize, I guess everybody badmouths the state about something. But I'll guarantee you one thing. Any kind of emergency you have, you forget about all the bad things. And when you're struggling, trying to get help, you'll learn to appreciate the state government for what it's supposed to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So, I hope that we have provided a brief glimpse into the world behind the scenes in order to acknowledge the professionals who have played indispensable roles in the successful completion of this county and the city's Storm Ready project. In particular, to Mr. Farmer and my good friend Keith Davis, that over the years I have become so comfortable waking up all hours of the day and the night with weather coming. They just refused to accept any limitations when we started this project. And without whom, this would just simply have not been possible for Honeywell and all that they offer to this county and for Joe. I mean, there's just so many that made today all come together for both the city and also the county. So we look forward to working with you and your teams in partnership for events to come, and there will be events to come, I'm sure. So on behalf of the National Weather Service and in representing the Southern Illinois Storm Ready Advisory Board, I extend that final congratulations to Massac County and the City of Metropolis and their project leaders. And I thank you all for coming today and sharing your valuable time with us to make knowledge of this remarkable achievement.